wanted to talk to you guys today about this album that I've been loving for the past month. When I first discovered it, I was pretty much listening to it obsessively on repeat. And then I went through a period where I was only listening to the Turnpike Troubadours because I was doing research for that video I put out. But now I am kind of done with the Turnpike Troubadours for a little bit. No, I still love them, but after listening to them so much, I'm like, I need something really different. So I went back to this album and I still really love it. It's called Farmland by GABE LEE, and the whole vibe of the album I would describe as mellow, country folk, acoustic coffee house. And basically it's all like really acoustic and slow. I was gonna say sad, but not all of them are sad. They're quite uplifting. Slow songs have just always been my favorite my whole life over upbeat songs. There is a time and place for upbeat songs, but I could listen to slow songs basically all the time. They really make me happy and make me feel more alive, and I listen to slow songs when I work out, which is kind of weird. Maybe that's why I don't really work out that much, because I'm listening to the wrong kind of music. You know how people have like their turn-up music? My turn-up music is basically slow songs, like this album. So GABE LEE is a singer-songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee, aka my favorite city ever. I have a pipe dream that I will move there one day, but for now I really like the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, where I am now. This is his debut album, so he just put this out a few months ago. One thing that really excited me and caught me off guard is the fact that I believe he is also an Asian American, like myself. Why does this matter, you may ask? Well, I've been in this country music scene for a little bit. I've been really into country music for the past 10 years, and I actually wrote a blog article about what it's like to like country music as an Asian American in California. And basically there aren't very many of us, and usually people are like, whoa, that's weird. How did you get into that? And I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of came to me, or I came to it. Anyways, I've never encountered an Asian artist until now. And maybe there's a bunch of them out there and I just don't know about them. The fact that GABE LEE exists means that you don't have to be white to create and sing really good country music that resonates with a lot of people. The album has been really positively received so far, and I think it will only continue to grow. And I would say his music kind of crosses the line between country and folk. Some might even call that Americana. But, you know, genres aren't really something where you can draw a line and be like, this is country, this is folk. I see them more as amorphous blobs that help us identify certain trends and patterns. But what I can say is that I primarily identify as a country music listener, and I think it sounds really good. So at a very high level, I would say all of these songs, there's 10 total in Farmland, are very acoustic. And by that I mean the instrumentation is very simple. There's usually only a guitar and maybe a dobro, maybe a harmonica, but no like drums, you know, like no intense rock stuff. No like overproduction. It feels very raw, authentic. Sounds like it was recorded in like a barn. It might have been, I don't know. I think it really allows you to hear his voice, and all of the lyrics are just so poetic and beautifully written, and each song has a pretty similar vibe. Like, it definitely feels like a very cohesive album, but each song paints a different scene and tells a different story. And I feel like the way he sings and writes, there's just so much depth and emotion in every single line. Each song just takes you on this beautiful emotional journey, which I love so much. Let's dive into the songs. Alright, the first song is called Alright Okay. I honestly love every single song, so I feel like I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I love this song, it's so beautiful, blah blah blah. But yeah, I love this song a lot. I kind of just obsess over the lyrics and how beautiful they are. I love just how it starts. Nothing ever happens on this side of town. So you get this image of like, you know, small town life and of stagnation and decay. And then he goes, you were looking for love, trying to burn this whole place down. I think the message is that life is hard and full of pain and struggle. You know, the first part of the chorus goes, flying down a road, tearing through the night, falling out of love, running out of time. But in spite of all that, everything's gonna be okay. There's this really hopeful, uplifting message where the narrator like comforts you and says, don't get to losing your mind, don't get to fading away. It only hurts for a while. It washes out in the rain. And then there's this harmonica that comes in that kind of makes it even more uplifting. My absolute favorite line, well, it's actually this line that comes in and then it comes in again. I think Gabe does this really cool thing where either in the pre-chorus or the chorus there will be a line, but then the second time or the third time it comes in, there's like a slightly different spin on it. I see this happen a few times throughout the songs. So the first time this line comes in, it's all my life I've been a fool. The second time it comes in, it's all my life I've had a dream. And I just think that's so beautiful. I love it so much. The second song is called Lyra, Queen of the Starlite Motel. I'm pretty sure it's about a prostitute, though I could be wrong. Another song about a prostitute that I really love, fun fact, is The 18 by Ed Sheeran. Anyways, this is probably the most fun, upbeat, danceable song on the record. I really like the line, so I drink and get high, cussing at the clear blue sky, till I finally found her, tall drink of water, standing by the motel sign. I think that's just a really fun verse. I think what's really cool about this song is that his voice is really dynamic and expressive. Like he does different things with his voice. Like there's a part where he's basically almost talking like Sam Hunt style, just kidding, not really. And then he like plays the role of the girl, so he has like a higher pitched voice and then he goes back to being himself. I think that's really cool and it's just like a super fun song. So the third song is called Eveline, and oh my gosh, this is probably my favorite song, but I have two favorite songs. It is so pretty. I think the steel guitar really adds this sense of longing. You get this story, but it's more a series of images where he's singing about all these places. I think he's reflecting back on a relationship with possibly a girl named Eveline, and he mentions all these places like Arizona and Santa Fe. You have these images of them like traveling down the road, and he grabs the keys from her and he's like, I'll give you a ride. But then she leaves, and so the whole song is kind of nostalgia and regret over stuff he would have done differently. The way he says Eveline at the end of every chorus is just so beautiful. Now we have a song called People. The message of this song is the world is a fucked up place, but everything will be okay. Like I mentioned earlier, he does these like repeating lines, but then alters them each time. So the start of each verse goes, people tend to blink. And the first verse goes, people tend to talk, FBI and all. The NSA is watching us through the camera on our phones and stuff like that. And then the second line goes, people tend to fight in schoolyards in the light. The third time it comes in, it's people tend to see ghosts of you and me. I really like that like parallelism. I don't know if there's an official like songwriting music term for this technique. He sets the stage in the verses like, this is the state of the world, these are the problems. But in the chorus, there's this really uplifting, hopeful message once again that like, everything will be okay. Like, we can run away from all this shit. Like, we can catch a train, we can hop on a Greyhound bus, you've got wings so you can fly. The chorus goes, don't let it get you down, don't let it change your mind. We're gonna catch that train, we're gonna take a ride. We'll find a one-horse town beyond the distant rise, where time keeps on, stars go by. And you know, I think that's really beautiful. Like, especially that very last part, time keeps on, stars go by. That's the only constant in the universe that we know for certain. The way I see it, like, everything that happens on a human time scale is nothing compared to the rest of the universe and the stars. And sorry to get all philosophical and stuff, but it kind of puts things into perspective. So now we're on to Christine, which happens to be my other favorite song. Maybe it's because my name is Christine and I like to pretend the song is about me because I'm narcissistic. Though it's obviously not about me because I've never gone down to the river and stared at someone with cold eyes and in the warm light of the blessed day and left them in the morning rain. Though that would be really cool if I did that. No, that wouldn't be cool. Anyways, oh my gosh, this song is just so beautiful. I love the waltz time. I love the beginning of the chorus when he goes, then you go down to the river. Like, every single time you just feel this like surge of passion. I just find it so emotionally moving. It's about being in love with a girl who then leaves you. But then there's this hopeful twist at the end where he goes, you call me up at last. So it's like, oh, does she come back at the very end? Perhaps. Now we have a song called Last Country Song, which I think is such a beautiful love song. And the way I interpret it is that the narrator sees a girl working at the grocery store and he doesn't say anything, he drives away, and then he's like, I remember bright and clear the heartache and the fear, thinking I'd have gone and never known your name. So he turns back, heads back to that grocery store and goes up and says the chorus of the song, which goes, and won't you please give me a call, drop me a line, let's have a ball. Never settle down, never mean to stop, come on love, won't you be my last country song. So it's this like beautiful love proposal sort of thing. And I get this sense of like freedom and youth and escapism. Like, let's just get away. Like, we have our old beat up Ford and a bottle of wine. Let's escape those city lights and go down a 2-lane road. And yeah, escapism I feel like is a really common theme of country music that I personally really resonate with, and the song is really beautiful. So now we have a song called Wander No More, which I see as another really beautiful escapism song. It has a really fun groovy rhythm. There's like a dobro and a keyboard, and man, the chorus is just so beautiful. It goes, 'cause every night that I pray, my heavy knees hit the floor. Lord, take my troubles away, don't let me wander no more. And the very end goes, I'm getting ready to go, leave all my worries behind. And then later, there's a verse that I really love that goes, lonely eyes and cheap perfume are the only things that I can still remember you through. Is it true, have you heard, how the days are rushing by in a blur? I'm not gonna say I know exactly what this song is about. I could see it interpreted in a few different ways. I think it could be about death. I think it could be about drugs. I think it could be about falling in love. But you just get the sense of this wandering man who is lost and just trying to escape into this new blissful state. I really like how there's like a little yeehaw at the very end of the song. I feel like it adds a really fun touch. So the next song is called United States of Nowhere, which I think is a really cool title. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm smart enough to figure out exactly what the song is about, which I think is okay. I'm not gonna be here and say I know everything about everything, but I think there are just really beautiful images and descriptions in this song. You have a big old stack of leather Bibles blowing down the interstate. You have these letters that were delivered to the sheriff's mailbox, but they were never received and they must have flown out on a dirt road. At the end, you have them talking to possibly a lover and saying, I don't want to leave you all alone. You don't have to be so sad. Tell me all the dreams you have. I kind of get the sense of longing and sorrow, but also hope. I feel like the fiddle really adds an extra level of emotion, and yeah, it's a really pretty song. Alright, so the penultimate song is called Old Smokey, and man, I think it's about a guy who gets arrested and is going to prison for like 16 years, and he's trying to tell his lover that everything's gonna be okay. I like the part where he says, come on, light him up, and there's this like epic dobro solo. I think it's really fun, and I think it's cool how it ends the same way it starts. It goes, I think it's Lucy Ann, I'm not sure. Lucy Ann's been lying in bed. I ain't heard a single word she said because the TV's on. Old Smokey's losing again. So you have this image of her like watching TV at home in a trailer, and it kind of comes back later where it's like, I've been collected by the boys in blue, but all the while I was thinking of you sitting alone staring at the evening news, watching stories of the dazed and confused. God, I love that line. The final song is called Happy Trails. Fun fact, I recently saw someone end an email like in their signature at the bottom with Happy Trails, and I thought that was really cool and creative because usually I just go with like best, thanks, maybe a sincerely if I'm feeling really serious, but maybe I'll start using Happy Trails. Oh, cheers, I use that one a lot. This is kind of a farewell song between two lovers. And at the end of the chorus it goes, all dressed up in farewell delight, boarding a train bound for Houston, Toronto in the light. Happy trails, goodbye. Yeah, I think it's a really, really beautiful song. I know I said that about every single song, so I'm sorry. But it's also a really good song to end the album on because it's like, happy trails, peace out, I'm out of here. So to conclude, I really love this album and this collection of 10 songs. As you can tell, I wasn't able to pinpoint the specific meaning of each song. I think each song is more an open-ended collection of images, kind of like impressionistic art, which I'm a big fan of, that gives the listener the freedom to have a personal listening experience and connection with each song. It's a really good listen that I would recommend to you guys if you're into acoustic, more folksy music. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Down that road, one too many times, and eyes ahead and over heels, the keys in the drive.